Access granted.
What's up, y'all? I'm back again. Another episode of Conversations with Brooklyn. Today I got a special guest, man. This is my main man, Chico, Benymon. What's up, brother?
What's up, my guy?
Look, man, all I'm trying to do, bro, is continue the conversation. Like, I just feel like the media doesn't necessarily portray our images properly. So what I'm trying to do is just really take back our images one interview at a time and just show us in a different light. So we just want to pick your brain and get to know you a little bit better and try to share some information, some motivation, and some inspiration. Is that cool?
Of course. Right. Come on, man.
So, first question. What are you most passionate about? And when I say passion, it's like in the sense of suffering. Like, what do you love so much that you're willing to suffer for?
Besides my kids?
Whatever it is.
Oh, yeah, my kids all day. I'm like one of those dads, man. Like, I just live my life to give them a great life. You know what I mean? You know, that's really what what drives me to this day. I think I'd be a totally different person. Lord knows what I'd be doing if I didn't have my kids. They keep me level. You know, having daughters and sons, you know, it keeps me in the, I say, level spectrum. But yeah, they're my passion, man. I just don't know what else I could think of other than them. Then entertainment, of course. You know, I love, you know, making people smile, making them laugh. I love bringing people together, you know, telling stories, whether good or bad, you know, to inspire others or, you know, talk to people that are going through stuff that I may have went through and bring some light to it, you know, to let people know, like, there's other people that go through it too. But I've always liked entertaining people, whether in music or on acting. Like, it's always been like, my life has been a stage, so it's like, that's all I really love doing.
That's cool, man. Yeah. And that's one of the misconceptions about black men, is that we don't follow our children. So this is a perfect example. Like, my man, how many kids you got?
5.
Got five piece with a biscuit. And he's, you know what I mean? Like, and he's very actively involved in his kids' lives, you know what I mean? So I just think that's important for people to see and for people to know, is that we do take care of our responsibilities, and we're not, what the narrative is that we just be having babies and not taking care of them.
Yeah, because, you know, as soon as they hear 5, they be like, how many baby mamas you got?
Right.
2.
Right. Let's talk motivation. So you've accomplished a lot in this business over the last 20 plus years. Like, what inspired you to even get started? Like, what motivates you to even be a part of this industry?
Well, there's like pros and cons to it. So, you know, the things that motivated me in the negative aspect, so to speak, you know, I had a really rough childhood where I was like in the jail mentality. Like, I wasn't in jail, but I was always told to stay in the house, put it that way.
Right.
And, you know, I would always be like, when I get out, I'm gonna do this, 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 this. And, you know, when you're like locked up in the house all the time, all you can do is be creative, because your mind is, you gotta stay busy. Like, I can go in there and start saying, you know, I hear a song and I'll start acting out the video, you know what I'm saying? I'm in the mirror, you know, that was my TV. Or if I see something on television, sometimes I'm like repeating the lines, you know, I'm studying comedy, like timing and all of that.
Right.
And then the pro part, you know, people like Stevie Wonder. Stevie Wonder inspired me because he's blind, and this dude was writing songs, painting pictures for us, and you just thought, this man can see this. I don't believe that. Stevie Wonder can see. He playing everybody, and he couldn't. And it's like, man, if he can make it, why can't I? And I've always believed that we all been born billionaires. You know, we all been born with the tools. We just have to apply them. You know, we have to do the research. But if we don't do that, then we can't be who we are supposed to be. You know, Mark Twain, he had a saying that I like live by. He said the two most important days in your life are the day you were born and the day you found out why. And I remember I used to be at my job, man. I used to work at a bank, and I worked at a pharmaceutical plant. I did all these jobs like you need degrees for and go to school for, and I even worked at a psychiatric hospital. And every time I was there, I felt like I was in a twilight zone. I was like, I'm not supposed to be here. This it's not me. Like, this is wrong. I'm like somewhere stuck in the middle of the universe, and I got to figure a way out. And like, I used to always say that to my manager, and she used to be like, quit. I'd be like, nah, I'm not a quitter. I said, it's not what I'm saying. It's like this, I have energy that y'all can't understand, and it's too much. Like, people used to always say to me when I was a kid, you got too much energy, you're too fidgety. And I was like, yeah, but that means something. That's a positive meaning to me. And I used to always see, like, even when like in school, when people get in fights, I was always that dude to break it up and say something funny. Or I would, like, you know, always bring barbecues together or try to bring stuff together. And that's when I knew my purpose was to be like a people person and socialite, to bring people together. And then I got into the entertainment. You know, I met Will Smith, and you know, he signed me in a group. We went to we still got signed to Interscope, and first I went on the Apollo. In New York, you survive the Apollo, you can survive anything. And I was in a group. We went on there. We won about 3 times, and then after that, man, I was like, Stevie Wonder did the Apollo. I did the Apollo. I was like, what's next? You know, did the record thing. Music business was taking forever. And I told Will, I said, yo, I need a plan B, man. And he was like, yo, man, look, I'm getting ready to do this movie called Enemy of the State. You can come and chill on the set, you know, get your mind right. I was like, yeah, man, I got to have a plan B. I got a son, and I want to take care of him. So he was like, all right, no problem. So I seeing him running through tunnels and jumping out buildings, I'm like, yeah, this is what I want to do. Yeah. He started laughing. I'll never forget, him and Charlie. And I said, well, I'm going to be on TV in a year. And he said, Joker, it don't work like that. You don't just say I'm going to be on TV in a year. I said, I guarantee I'm going to be on TV in a year. This is what I'm supposed to do. And Charlie was like, yo, Chico, I actually believe you. And I was like, I'm going to do it. So I went back to New York, scammed it up some money, and came back. And I was like, yo, Charlie, let me sleep on your floor, whatever the case. He was like, no problem. And I snuck into an audition and booked it. And
remember what it was?
Moesha.
Okay.
And they was like, yo, you SAG? I was like, nah, I'm Puerto Rican and black. I ain't know nothing about acting. Everybody was like, they just started laughing. And the girl that let me in was like, what the? She was like, just don't. And I was like, oh, nah, I'm just kidding. Yeah, I'm SAG. Yeah. I didn't know what the hell SAG was. So when I got out, she was like, you ain't even supposed to be here, are you? I was like, why, am I gonna get in trouble? She was like, no, you got the job, but your ass ain't SAG. I was like, what is the SAG? And she was like, SAG is like a union you gotta be in order to work. And they were going on hiatus. And then the following week they were shooting. She was like, you got like damn near 3 weeks, maybe 2, to get vouchers. I was like, what the hell is that? I was like, she was like, you got to get in the union. So long story short, I went to Will. I said, yo, Will, I booked a TV show. He was like, wait a minute, who the hell flew Chico out here to Cali? Did we fly him out? Did I'm supposed to do something with the group? I said, nah, I came out here to do the acting thing. I told you, man, but look, I booked something. I said, I got to get the SAG, man. He said, the what? The SAG, man. He said, why you calling it the SAG? I said, because that's what it's called. He said, nah, man, take the "the" off, man. It's just SAG. He said, what is it? I said, look, I got to get these vouchers. So he said, listen, I'm going to hook you up with the television department. At the time, Overbrook had a TV department when they were at Universal Studios. So he hooked me up with somebody, And he was like, look, we gotta get Chico on something to get him about. So they had, Jaleel White had like a show pilot he did, or TV, it was called Grown Ups. And they needed somebody to sing, but it was like a boy band audition. And it was a little part, but I got to sing, so it gave me a voucher.
Right.
So I was like, bet, did it. I ain't getting no money for it. I didn't care, I got that voucher, but I needed 3.
Right.
So then I was like, dang, man. I said, another mutual one of our friends, he was going to do a show. He was getting ready to go do Jamie Foxx show. And he was like, Bilal. He was like, I got this, bro, you know, you can come, man. They always need extras. I was like, what's an extra? And he was like, extra is, you know, atmosphere. And then he said, just come, Chick. I went with him. And I said, all right, cool. I went in there. And sure, like he said, the second AD was like, you want to do extra work? I said, yes. I said, I need to get the SAG. And she was like, she said, the what? I said, the SAG. She was like, why are you calling it that? I said, well, I just need it because I got a job. She was like, all right, well, I'm gonna give you it. So mind you, this is my first time like on a show that's popular already. This is like Jamie's last season. So I'm like, oh snap, the Jamie Foxx show. We was at Warner Brothers Studios. So Bilal went in his trailer and all that. He was like, yo, you gotta sit with the extras. I was like, yo, it's all good. I was sitting there, but it was weird because, you know, I knew Will. So I felt weird with the extras. I was like, I know Will Smith. Why am I over here sitting with these other people? Oh, that was so bad. My alarm to pick up my son. But take 2. Young cut me in from here. So I was sitting with the extras and I was like, man, I know Will Smith. Why am I sitting with these extras, man? I want to get to see Jamie in them. You know what I mean? Of course, that's just unrealistic. But me, I had nothing to lose, so I went down on the set. I walked through the set. I was like, dang, man, this is so dope. And there was a baby grand piano. I played the piano since I was 5. Okay. So I saw the piano. And anybody that played the piano, you don't walk by a baby grand and not touch it. So it was lunchtime. So I was like playing Ribbon in the Sky, right? All I heard was, who the hell on my piano? I was like, oh, shit. I got up. And Jamie was like, yo, come here, man. I was like, oh. I said, hey, man, I'm sorry, man. Don't be upset, man. I just can't walk by Baby Grand without touching it, but I didn't mean no disrespect. He said, man, what you doing on the set? I said, I'm an extra, man. I'm just trying to get the SAG. He was like, the what? I was like, the SAG, man. He said, why you calling it that? I was like, I just need to get it, man. He said, play what you were just playing. I played it again. And he started playing, and then he got on the other keys. He sat next to me and started playing the high notes. And I was like, oh shit, Jamie Foxx play over here, okay. He was riffing on there. And it was an episode with Kevin Garnett, and Gary Payton. And Kevin Garnett was kind of like promoting his clothing line, but it was a basketball episode, right? So I seen him and he was like, yo, he was like, you need that to do another job? And I was like, yeah, man. I said, I ain't mean no disrespect. He said, nah. He said, he called Jennifer at the time. He said, Jennifer, Taft Hartley him. I was like, what is that? You firing me? He was like, nah, man. He was like, that means you like VIP. You don't have to wait for the vouchers. Like you in. I was like, what? He was like, yeah. So now I'm like, what? I was lit. I was like, oh snap. So now I'm relaxed. So I get ready to do the work. So, you know, it's atmosphere. We in a hotel, right? The hotel scene where his uncle and aunt own. So they're like, you know, she was like, listen, you just gonna walk across, you know what I'm saying? You act like, you know, you don't see nobody but that newspaper. You pick it up, you look at it, you go back out the door. I said, bet, that's easy, let's go. So I get ready to go. So y'all the camera, right? Y'all the cameras. So I go in there, and it's my first time. So I'm like walking out, and I'm like, the paper's right here, and I go to grab it, and I'm like, so, cause I wanted my people to see me. I was like this. They was like, cut. Hey, Jennifer. Yeah, boy, that dude is looking in the camera. She was like, oh, you can't look in the camera, Jen. I was like, oh, my bad. I said, I didn't know what's happening, man. I was kind of, you know, lost in the moment. She was like, all right, don't, Jen, just do it again. Just don't look in the camera, okay? They don't like that. I was like, all right, cool. So they go, action. And she cues me. She goes, I walk out there. I get the newspaper. I open it up. So it's like right here, and y'all the camera, and I'm like this. So the cut. What's up with your man? You know, he keep looking at the camera. She was like, he did? I was like, yo, I was reading the paper. She was like, why are you reading the paper? You're supposed to just pick it up, look at it, and go. That's what I was doing. I was looking at it, I was reading. She was like, okay, I'll take that bad. I was like, oh, my bad. She was like, listen, don't look in the camera. I'm gonna have to take you out. I was like, all right, cool, no problem, my bad. So we go off. So in between takes, there's a basketball court on the set. So they were all shooting. I had about $200 in my name, right? And I felt like this is my way to get in, right? Because I just felt like I got to get connected to somebody. I ain't tell nobody I knew Will. So they shooting, and they were betting. It was Johnny Mac, one of the writers. It was Foxx, and it was like 2 other people, and Kevin Garnett and Gary. So Kevin and Gary weren't betting. So I was like, yo, can I get in? And you know my jumper is wet, you know what I'm saying? He knows. But so I was like, I said, can I get in? And Johnny was like, yo, New York. They kept calling me New York because my accent was real heavy then. So they was like, yo, New York, you got to bet like $20 a shot. I said, let's go. It's nothing. I only had $200, right? They not, right? So I'm like, all right, let's go. Man, God must have been there with me that day because I didn't miss nothing. It was like every shot I concentrated on. So Jamie got in it. Just put it this way, he lost $700. So got the money. I made Johnny Mac money. He betted on me. Everybody was happy. So now we back to work. So now, you know, I'm doing my extra stuff. Now I ain't looking at the camera no more. I'm in there, you know, vibing and stuff. And you know how you know somebody looking at you, like that weird feeling? And it was like, hey. So when I went off camera, I just happened to look back and I saw Jamie like, and looking at me, I was like, what the? Oh shit, what'd I do? And then in the middle of the scene, he's like doing this scene, and then he'll always be like, yeah. Because I got that money. So it was bothering him. So he said, hey man, hey, Johnny, I saw him talking to Johnny. Johnny said, yo, Foxx said, come to the foxhole. I said, what is that? That was at his other house, the one that was in the valley. And I was like, what's that? He was like, that's Jamie's house. I was like, word? He's like, yeah, he wanna continue this at the crib. He got a basketball court. I said, all right, cool. I was like, I'm in. What? Let's go. Man, we get there. Jamie was like in his basketball outfit. He said, hey, what's up? He said, now I ain't on the set. Now, you know, this is my court. Let's go. Listen, long story short, he got that money back. But I was in. I was in. He was like, yo, you can come by, you know, anytime. And he was like, man, you know, and I was like, man, forever, thank you. You know, now I can go to this job. So now I call Will. Boom. Yo, I'm on this TV show, man. You probably heard it, Moesha. Yeah. I told you I was going to be on TV in a year. It's been 3 months since I told you that. And he was like, what? Are you serious? I was like, yeah, man, yeah. Need to borrow some money to get in the union until I get my check. I said, but you know I'm going to work. And then he was like, yo, this joker got on the show like he said. And I think that's when Will like respected me on that tip because he was like, yo, this joker said he's going to do it and he did it. And we've been friends ever since. And
you know what's interesting, man, is I think that's the thing I admire most about you is a lot of people talk about stuff and don't do it or execute it. But man, I hats off to you. You do that. Like I'll hear you be like, man, I'm getting to record my album. Next thing you know, it's album out. I'm getting to shoot this music video. The next thing you know, you don't be waiting around for people to get stuff done. Like I think after Half and Half, you had came up with a pilot and y'all shot some stuff at the spot over there off of Victory and other crib. I'm like, this dude don't be messing around. Like you just shot a new pilot right now. You know what I mean? So I think I just wanted to give you your flowers. You know what I mean? Like
thank you,
I
man.
really admire that and respect that about you because a lot of people get to talking about stuff and they just don't do it.
Yeah.
So
I hate that, man. That's that New York in me, though, man. It's like I've always said when I get an opportunity, I'm gonna do it. Now, when I get the opportunity and don't do it, what's the point of my being out here? Right. And then, you know, my kids, they ain't having it. They're like, listen, get to work, daddy, because we need a lot of things that you gotta get us. And you know, they getting older, so like their needs are getting a little more expensive, so they don't even wanna be celebrity kids. That's the crazy thing. Maybe my youngest, but the other ones, like they like, you can have that.
So what would you say, man, like is your biggest failure up until this point?
The biggest failure? To me,
yeah.
I haven't been on the actual big screen. Okay. Like I haven't went into a theater for a premiere for an actual big budget film. Or not even big budget, like a real film though.
Like would you say that's a failure or just something that you haven't gotten to yet?
I haven't gotten to yet.
Okay, which is fair.
Which to me, I call it a failure because I didn't do it in the time frame I wanted to do it in. You know what I mean? That to me is like, you know how we always set a plan, right? If it ain't God's plan, of course it's his plan first. But we set a plan. And we got markers and times and how we want to do something. If I don't meet that time, that to me is a failure.
Okay.
You know what I mean? If I'm like, damn, I want to get this done by June 2nd and it ain't done till it's August and I still ain't do it, I failed. And I'm like playing catch up now. So that means that situation slowed everything else down. Sometimes that situation may slow down and then this third situation may pop off quicker to bring back those in the back. Yeah. But I think that's the only thing, like, I could say that I failed at, that I really was passionate about. Anything else that I failed at, if I failed at it, I wasn't passionate about it.
Right. I mean, and then even with that, like, it's only really failing if you quit. So as long as you still
I haven't quit
after it, then it just hasn't happened.
When I didn't put an album out, I kept saying I have no closure until I put an album out. Right. I'm like, I was signed to one of the #1 movie stars and music stars in the world, and we never put an album out. It was like that prison thing again. It's like the pause button. You know, if somebody go to jail, again, I was not in jail, but you know, if somebody go to jail in 85, right? Their mentality is that 85 date. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? They still talking about stuff that happened. Remember Peggy Sue, man? Yeah, when she used to be in that, you know, the legend, man, you know what I'm saying? She used to drop, they discontinued them cars, man. What are we talking about? But it's like your mentality is there. So it's like, I was like, you know what? I have to put an album out. And when people heard my album, they like, yo, you got that 90s feel. And I'm like, yeah, because that's when I was supposed to put an album out. I'm like,